Welcome to Whiskey Vault. You know what I was just doing?
No.
I was looking for Maker's Mark to see if it was enough of a similar red for these people to get sued.
No, they only get sued if it's the drippy,
If it drips,
drippy,
if it
yeah.
drips.
Well, I don't know.
I thought they said a very specific red
It's possible.
and the drippage.
It's over there.
Yeah, I don't care that much.
So this is from a magnificent bastard, Neil Heath.
Neil Heath, you magnificent bastard.
Proof and Wood. This is a company that is a Connecticut-based spirits company that they buy up whiskey and do brands and releases. They don't make anything. They just buy up bulk spirits, create their own stuff, and send it out. And it's not just whiskey, it's a bunch of products, right?
Yep.
They even import Genever, like the origin of gin, Genever in the Netherlands. Like they do all kinds of stuff.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So this is their whiskey selection. This is a straight rye single barrel. It's called the Presidential Dram.
No. Oh, that looked a little more red than I expect. A little more of a...
The color?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on there? This is not an MGP, though.
I don't... It's probably is.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably
I was about to get
MGP.
excited. It's like, oh, it's sourced rye.
But...
That's not MGP?
But I think they were pretty open about it. Here's the thing. It's 8 years old.
Oh, distilled in Indiana. Yeah, it's an MGP.
Yeah. 8-year-old MGP rye.
Yeah.
So...
Okay.
One barrel of 8-year-old MGP rye.
Here's the,
otherwise known as the Presidential Dram.
I mean,
it turns out.
you kind of set up my expectations a little bit.
I know.
Because I'm not hating on it. It's 8 years. I'm looking forward to this. But you say they are sourcing things,
they're doing
and
interesting
the
shit.
thing they doing this thing from Genevieve or whatever the hell, and they're bringing in stuff. It's like, oh, I wonder what places they're able to bring in stuff for me to try.
Yeah.
It's MGP.
It's MGP.
But everybody does MGP.
Yeah.
We do MGP.
And they're bottling in Bardstown, Kentucky.
We did MGP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's a really nice MGP rye.
95.5.
They are, like, people that like rye, they very often are big fans of what MGP rye is.
Yes.
Yeah. They appreciate the rye.
I would agree with that because the people who like the outlier rye are the people who aren't rye people.
Yeah. I think the MGP rye is so prevalent that if you're going to get into rye, that's probably going to be a gateway for a lot of people.
Yeah, without you even realizing it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that.
What can you say about it that we haven't said for 6 years?
But the 8 years though, that does add the richness to that herbal character.
Yeah.
I will say this. What you expect from an MGP rye, the age takes those things and it doesn't do anything off path.
Right.
It just makes it more rich and voluptuous and dense and it's nice. Yeah.
And it doesn't condense them. It's just a little more complex.
Yeah.
It's got weight.
I kind of really like the nose, but I
me too.
I like the MGP rye.
I'm still getting the same kind of like botanicals.
There's a tea note in there. It's really nice tea.
But it's darker. It's not your typical green tea. It's now just like a sweet black tea.
Yeah, there's sweet black tea with some honey drizzled into that tea. Very herbal. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's got like a candied ginger.
It did ramp up the black licorice note.
Licorice and candied ginger. This is 53.85%.
Ramped up the black licorice with the extra years. Pickled ginger. And then lands with a nice creamy vanilla finish.
This was picked by Only the Lonely.
Okay. Did you get that creamy vanilla finish?
No.
No, yeah. The creamy vanilla finish, which is a really nice landing for that kind of that herbal.
Oh yeah,
bread.
I see what you mean by that.
It's good.
It's almost like you took everything that it was and you turned it into a cupcake. With a little bit of that icing, and so your finished taste is the icing that was on the top of the
Something
cupcake.
that is herbal and ginger and tea and honey that lands with the vanilla. There's something that's nice about that progression. That's a good progression. Just wow. Yeah, something that anybody's gonna like. Very accessible. Something like the category of gin. People are going to describe that as botanical,
right?
More often than herbal. Rye is going to more often be like herbal.
Right.
In your words, how would you compare what makes something botanical versus something that's herbal? What are the kinds of flavors that are botanical flavors versus flavors that would get more of an herbal?
I don't know that I've ever heard that question before.
Yeah, but it tracks.
I wonder if it's the same thing It's just you use a different word because you're in a different category. So I'm trying to think of like...
Because gin and rye are different, but people usually say botanical.
Yeah, because botanical is part of the production process.
Yes, yes.
They call it botanical.
Yes.
But I would argue it's the same. And
Even
the
though there's
only
different
reason the word changes is because you're no longer talking... okay, so maybe here's why your brain changes the word.
Okay.
Because in gin, you're literally using botanicals.
Right.
You don't do that in whiskey. Whiskey's just grain and yeast and water. Well, American whiskey like that is. So you're talking about the flavors that are created that mimic botanicals, right?
Yeah.
And so in one instance, you're talking about actual physical things called botanicals.
Yes.
And the other one, you're talking about scents and smells that remind you of botanicals.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you could say, these are botanical and these are herbal.
Yeah.
The product of botanicals.
Yeah. One of the things I've really liked about getting into whiskey, because we went deep into whiskey, but having that spectrum of experiences, as I even start to just dabble, just a little bit, just the tiniest little bit, in things like gin,
Right.
and rum, and
Mezcal,
I mean,
for me.
I've been getting more into mezcal than I have with just like the classic tequila flavors that most people
me
expect.
too, so good.
It kind of sets up the expectations for what a good spirit's going to be, even though it's totally different flavors.
But you'll notice that you find that similar level of complexity is possible in all the other flavors.
Yes.
So you get this, maybe not the same flavor experience, but you get the same simple, thin, complex, rich combo.
Which, I mean, I guess like even outside of spirits, it kind of tracks in beer and wine as well.
Cocktails.
Able to, I mean, regardless of which path you took to get into alcoholic drinks.
I've got an interesting contribution from hanging out with Jason Souter last week.
Yeah.
He said, when something is simple, your nose is drawn to the individual components. When something is complex, you will describe a finished product.
Oh.
When you smell it.
Yeah.
And I'd never thought about that before. So he said, for example, if you smell a finished bourbon that's really interesting and complex, you might say cinnamon roll, or cookie, or these are finished baked goods, right? Or in Scotch, fruit cake, or that's a finished product. But if you get a boring one that's kind of simple and only has a few notes, you're going to describe cinnamon, vanilla, the components that make up a finished product.
You know, this, I mean, it's kind of at odds with what our job is here. But whenever something is truly profoundly good, the thing that I most want to do is shut up
and just sit
and not talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this. I want to enjoy it. I want to drink it. I don't want to say words. But obviously it's not why we're here. But that's kind of the telltale sign. Whenever it's like, damn it, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, I don't want to have to try to figure out what kind of cinnamon roll or like. Yeah, but I think that tracks because like a really simple spirit, it just has a few outlying things to hold on to, and they're components.
Yeah.
Whereas a complex spirit presents your brain with a finished, complex product, and you get that kind of thing in finished products.
Yeah, and the more complex something is, you can't just immediately get it and then start yammering on about it. You just need time to kind of sit with it, marinate. For a minute.
I just thought that was cool.
Yeah. Hey, look at us go! Stretching out an MGP episode with actual relevant and interesting.
So proud of us.
Yeah, please don't let the next one be an MGP. That's all I got.
It's not, and it's a fun story.
Oh, nice.
And it will be Cherry Coke.
Oh, what are you doing?
That was weird. Well, I was drinking while distracted, and I poured water in mine. Try mine. Cherry Cola.
All right, I need 13 seconds because
I
just got a fresh dose here. We've got Rocky 8806. It's very important. You got to get the numbers right. That 8606, that's a piece of shit. You don't want to.
Yeah, no, you went to 88. That was a good year.
Right.
I was 10.
The amount of times I lovingly shouted, F you in this video. Ha ha ha. I hate and love you guys. I hope you get cold, you magnificent bastards.
There's been a couple of Alaska videos where we just trashed Alaska for the whole video.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of comments from people, all good-natured.
Well, all 7 of them.
Yeah.
They're nice people. It comes out of
They probably all got together and talked about it at their weekly meeting of Alaska.
We got Ross Fudd 256. You did nothing for Christmas. Very disappointing.
Oh, so I think I had sort of casually mentioned here that I was going to do the 12 days.
Yeah.
And people didn't realize that I only released that on Patreon.
Well, you can do like unlisted videos.
I did, but we didn't put the links anywhere else.
You can put the links. You know what? You want to put the links for the bottom of this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll put them all in there.
Okay. You need to make a note, though.
Can I playlist unlisted videos?
I have no idea. I've never tried to playlist unlisted videos.
Because I'd rather just give them a playlist link and they can see
unlisted playlist. I've never done that. 8-year-old MGP Rise.
Oh, try it and think cherry
That's
cola.
right. That's right. Okay. Yeah. I actually like it better with water.
Yes. Yeah. Not bad.
It makes it a very high rye bourbon.
Yeah.
Which is
Very
nice.
weirdly, yeah.
Yeah. It's very good. Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, fight for a friend.
You steal, may you steal your lover's heart.
And if you drink,
May you drink with us.